What is up, everyone? Guys, listen up. In today's video, we're gonna talk about how to master the flamethrower. In my opinion, the flamethrower is literally one of the most powerful weapons against the Terminids, and it's just so much fun to use. But there's definitely a few things you need to know in order to use this weapon to its maximum potential. That said, once you do master it, you're going to be destroying the Terminids, easily destroys chargers. We're talking like 2-3 second kills, and anything below chargers is literally just a joke. You can have the best ad clear in the game. And you guys know I absolutely love to play Helldive as a solo player. It's one of my favorite things to do in the game. And the flamethrower is what I use most of the time just because I find it so much fun and so powerful at the same time. So today we're gonna go over quite a few things. How to minimize the chances of you damaging yourself, how to have absolutely insane ad clear, and so on. So by the end of the video, you guys are going to be destroying the Terminids. If you guys do enjoy this video, and only if you do, make sure to slap the like button and subscribe to the channel. We got more content on the way. I also stream both here on YouTube and on Twitch, and I would absolutely love to see every single one of you guys live on stream. Okay, let's talk about the first thing on the list, and that's going to be how to not damage yourself when you're using the flamethrower. Now in the future, I'm sure they're going to add fire resistant armor, and this is going to be cool. But what if you don't want to use that armor? What if you prefer some of the other armors that are in the game while you're using the flamethrower? And in order to stop burning yourself as you're destroying everything in front of you, what you want to do is keep moving backward non-stop as you're burning the Terminids in front of you, and never, and I mean never, move forward while you're using the flamethrower. I've seen a lot of people do this where they kind of just Terminator walk down their enemies, like boom, just go forward. You are also gonna get the ground on fire, which means that you are gonna walk into it. And once you do walk into it, that's when the problems begin, right? You're gonna burn down extremely fast, especially with the tick damage increased by 50%. You are gonna burn pretty quickly. So you don't wanna do that, guys. You wanna move backwards at all times. Oh, and I almost forgot, if you do mess up and burn yourself, diving will cancel the burn. So it will save your life a lot of the times. As you see in this clip, I'm gonna burn myself here so I can showcase that. As soon as I dive, boom, the burn stops. So make sure to utilize this when you're in trouble. Now, the second most important thing on the flamethrower in order to have absolutely insane ad clear is to burn the ground instead of your enemies. This is just so much fun to do, and it's so powerful because you can literally create huge areas that are on fire, which means that everything that walks into it is gonna burn down. Once again, because of the increased tick damage by 50%, this is literally the best way to clear hordes of enemies within seconds. We're talking the small ads, hunters, commanders, medium armored enemies, everything that is coming into contact with the fire is gonna burn down. Because keep in mind, you're not gonna be spreading the fire on a small area. You are moving backwards and you keep spreading the fire non-stop. By the time you have to reload, there's a huge area in front of you that is burning. Which brings us to tip number 3, and that is, when should you use the flamethrower? In order to understand this, first we gotta understand that you gotta keep range from the Terminids in order to start using the flamethrower effectively. If you are in a danger zone, for example, when a hunter jumps at you, or there's maybe 1, 2, or even 3 Terminids that are really close to you, this is not a perfect time to start using the flamethrower. The reason for that is, first of all, obviously it slows you down. It takes a little bit to start it going, and on top of that, as soon as they get on fire, if they're close to you, it will transfer to you as well. So you're kind of losing that control of spreading the fire exactly where you want to. Instead, you're hitting the Terminid that is right next to you, and now both of you are gonna die. So if you are in a position where you have a few enemies that are really close to you, that's when you have to switch to your primary, take them out first with your primary, and when you see that you have a little bit more range between you and the enemy, that's the perfect time to spray the ground with the flamethrower. And this brings us to tip number 4, which is rotations. In order to make this work, when you combine all of these things, you need to understand that with the flamethrower, you need to consistently be moving. As I said, you move backwards when you're using the weapon, but when you have to reload or when you have to create range, you start sprinting away from your enemies, and then once you're ready, you go back to unleashing fire over the Terminids every single time. So it comes down to 4 things. walk backwards while burning, spray the ground, create more range, and keep the rotation up. As long as you manage these 4 things, you're gonna be fine. Another great tip is to use the radar. Whenever you're sprinting away to create that range, you can take a look at your radar, see how they're rotating, and kind of calculate your next move off of that. Once again, all of these things really play into mastering the playstyle with the flamethrower. Now let's talk about a few items in the game that really take flamethrower to the next level. And the first one on the list is gonna be stun grenades. Stun grenades are easily one of the best combos with the weapon. Let's say you're destroying hordes of enemies and boom, out of nowhere, we got 1 charger or even 2 chargers. That's exactly when you want to use the stun grenades. I like to throw the stun grenade somewhere around me as I'm sprinting away from the charger. Eventually, the charger is going to walk into the grenade, then he's going to get stunned, and that's a perfect opening for me to take him out within 2 or 3 seconds and then get back to my rotation. The next item I want to talk about is the 6 stim armor. Now, not only is this armor absolutely phenomenal for this build because you get 6 stims, but on top of that, you have a 2 seconds extra duration on this armor, which means that if you do burn yourself, once you pop that stim, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about anything. It is gonna keep you up easily through the burning, and it just makes the use of the flamethrower so much more enjoyable, so much easier, so much safer, and overall it increases your survivability by a crazy amount. So you really can't go wrong with this armor piece. One thing I will say though is that if you will run the flamethrower, in my humble opinion, using the light armor is the best pick because speed makes those rotations and creating that range that you need much easier. So you get the best of all worlds. You get speed from the armor, survivability, 6 stims, increased stim time. You mess up, you start burning yourself, boom, you're stimmed up, you're good to go. And on top of that, you're creating more and more range, much easier. So overall, the light armor with 6 stims is an easy pick. Now remember, the flamethrower is also amazing as mentioned against chargers. And the reason this is very important, chargers can make the battlefield very, very hectic. If you don't take them out quickly, and especially if you have like 2, 3, or 4 chargers, it can be a mess. That's when the stun grenade and the flamethrower combo come in handy as mentioned, because flamethrower is literally one of the best weapons against chargers. Now, yes, some of you might say, Pip, but Quasar one-shots the chargers, and it does. But Quasar has literally 0 ad clear. So you gotta think here, which one do you prefer, right? For my playstyle, it's all about having a tool that does a few things better than others. And the flamethrower literally does everything I want it to do so well. Insane ad clear in combination with the fact that I can absolutely annihilate chargers in 2 or 3 seconds. And in order to do this, all you gotta do is aim for one of the legs of the charger. That's really what it is. You don't have to go for the head or nothing. It goes through the leg armor, just completely annihilates the chargers and makes the game so much easier. On top of that, a really cool thing about the flamethrower is that if you are playing the egg missions, it destroys eggs, man. Like as soon as you pretty much look at them, like swipe across the eggs, they're gone. It's actually really fun to use too. Also, a lot of people might not know, if there's shriekers flying at you, yeah, the flamethrower, the second it touches them, they're dead. So it can also be used to take out shriekers. It shouldn't be your main tool to take them out, but the fact that it does that really effectively is cool. So yeah, that's gonna be it, man. I wanted to go over the flamethrower since it is my favorite weapon in the game. And since I have 611 hours in the game and I use flamethrower a lot, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, and only if you did, slap that like button. Don't forget to elbow the sub button. We got more content on the way for Helldivers 2, builds, test videos. And if you haven't yet, make sure to hop into those streams, both here on YouTube and on Twitch. We have an absolutely legendary community. We always have a good time, and I would love to see every single one of you guys live on stream. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you on the next one.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I mean, we literally have the best community of all time. Oh! Oh, he got no scoped!